G'day guys, welcome back to another video. Boy, oh boy, do we have some stuff to share with you guys. We're on the other side of Australia. We're in the southern coast of New South Wales. We're almost back in our home state, Victoria. We've certainly missed a heap of stuff, but we are rushing back to Victoria. We do need to be home in a few days. We've got some pretty exciting stuff coming up, but you've probably clicked on this video. You're probably interested to know what have we done to our boat. And you'll see we're in our boat now. It's okay, but we pretty much rode our boat off. It was unusable, and the last couple of days has been an absolute roller coaster, and we're very, very excited to be out here now to show you guys one of our favorite places in Australia. So after over 5,000 Ks of driving, our car, timer in our car says 80 something hours of driving. We are so fired up to just go and catch some of our favorite fish. I guess we'll talk more about the boat and what's happened to the boat, because this whole experience has been a really good learning experience, especially for me. And we learnt how our mistreatment of one of the toughest rooftop tinnies you can get ultimately led to it being unusable and unseaworthy. So it's totally our fault, 100% our fault, but we'll talk more about it. But the moral of the story is I could not be happier that we bought a SeaJay. A trusted Australian brand, and they looked after us so well. And it really, really made me happy that we went with a well-renowned Australian brand for our boat to travel Australia with. So we couldn't be happier with how it's all turned out. We'll talk more about that later. Right now, we're in the boat. You can see, as usual, it's a mess. Nothing's rigged up. We've got the swag with us. We've got about, 3 hours of daylight left. We need to catch some food. We need to find somewhere to camp. There's all sorts of stuff to do, and plenty of info to share about our travels so far. So strap in. Hopefully we can show you a flathead, at least. Probably too many tailor. We'll probably lose lots of lures and lots of other chaos. Thanks for watching another one, and we'll
see you out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we said we were going to go find a campsite, but I just keep seeing all these spots where I know there could be fish, and we've gotten very distracted. So I actually just lost a good flathead right at the boat. So that was our dinner gone, but Jacqueline's, she's into it.
Freezing cold.
Go on, say what you said before.
All we've done for the last 3 months is complain about the heat, and now it's just too cold.
It's like 20 degrees, but for us it's bloody freezing, so we have some acclimatizing to do. Oh dearie me.
I was too slow.
Didn't pull at one click of drag because it grabbed it as I was lifting the lure out of the water. But I'll get the hooks out and I'll show you. Oh, easy. Never mind. Well, I'll show you the lure now, so just take my winter jumper off. So this is a Daiwa double clutch. These are like the lure. Like, I've just grown up using these lures for the last 10 years. I reckon this one's probably 7 or 8 years old. The trebles get a little birthday every year, but these things, they make like 4 or 5 sizes of them. They're the best. They catch everything. We were catching coral trout with these a few weeks ago in literally the other side of the country. But yeah, anyway, sort this flathead out, and that's our dinner. I hope it's legal.
Yeah.
I think it is legal, but
we're not in the NT anymore. We have to measure fish again.
Oh, it'll be legal. Stand by. So a very small fish for what we've been catching. These dusky flathead in New South Wales legal size is 36. This guy's 38, 2 centimeters too old. But I know I always talk about how there's, like Spanish mackerel are my favorite fish, or coral trout are my favorite fish. These dusky flathead are my favorite fish in Australia. I've been chasing a metre flathead for my whole life. I still haven't caught one. One of my good mates has got one that was 94 on my boat. and yeah, the quest for the meter flathead continues. This is certainly not a meter flathead, but great eating. If we can catch another one of these, that's going to be an awesome feed for us tonight. So yeah, my true favourite Australian fish, dusky flathead. They're pretty amazing fish. Second flatty.
Is this one small?
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller. Oh no.
Oh no.
It's another.
Might even be better.
Another eater. Look at that. They're pretty good at getting the hooks out, these little flatties, aren't they? We'll measure him and see. We do need a second one for dinner, so this would be optimal.
This would be great.
Have a look at this. I'm wearing my rain jacket, which I have not put on in... When do you reckon the last time I wore this was?
I don't know.
Maybe in like Exmouth on a windy day. So
look at me right now. It's like I'm at the snow.
It's fruiting,
I haven't
freezing.
got pants on.
See you in half an hour.
You can see its little tail. Oh. Alright, James, you saw that.
So that fish was the same size, maybe just a little bit bigger than that first one. So that's us sorted for dinner, which is a relief. But it is just so cold. We're probably just going to give it another few drifts. But basically, you can see behind me here, you can't really tell, but it's only about 30 centimeters deep. So we're just like zigzagging our way up this bank. We don't have electric motor in the Tinny. It'd be great if we did, but we just keep track of where we've been, and then I'll slowly drive the boat up to the top of the bank, and then I'll turn the engine off, and then we'll just drift down with the wind. And you just kind of zigzag your way over the banks. We find that's the best way to do it, especially without an electric motor. So Jack will, she'll be up the front, and she'll sort of cast this way and fan her cast in like a semicircle, and then I'll do the same, fanning my cast in a semicircle this way. That way you cover all the ground, because the flathead don't really move around. They kind of sit and wait in ambush. So if you keep casting in the same spot, you're not going to achieve anything. You've got to cover ground, and that's what we're doing. And just like that, Jack's on. Lift it in, lift it in. Wow, that's an interesting way to deal with that.
That was weird as.
It was like tail wrapped.
But it wasn't like, it didn't do anything until, same as before when James was, I was lifting the lure into the boat.
Look at that, that's fully wrapped up. Oh, there we go.
That's weird as.
Yeah, that's the same size again.
Yeah.
But you can see like we put a bigger plastic on. Because Jack got snagged. But like that's quite a big plastic for quite a small flathead.
If it was a bigger flathead, you'd never hold it up like this just to protect them,
yeah,
look after them. Because it's so little, it's okay.
Put your hand under his belly and hold us, show us.
Got to be careful of their spikes. If you get spiked by them, it hurts for so long.
It's the little ones, hey, that get ya.
Yeah.
The big ones, not a drama. Little ones, real worry. But what a fish! All right, get those hooks out and get him home. See if you can do it in one clean motion.
While also holding the rod. I don't think I can hold the rod. Can you grab the rod? Hold on.
That's not how we do it.
Ow! That was never gonna work.
Yeah. Oh, fish on! So, the best way to do it is to hold like the top part of your jig head, and that's a really bad spike there. So if you put your thumb on the back of their fins like that and be like firm, you don't want to hurt it, but firm enough, then you can hold them without getting spiked. And it's always the little ones that get ya. So thumb in the middle like that, and
I get too scared.
yeah, but that spike there, that's the one that'll get ya. Shut up.
That scared me.
Keep going.
My hands is fishy. Wait, I need a weapon.
You're a fish. So we've just come off that flat and we're now looking for a campsite. It is so nice to be back in like some familiar landscape. Big gum trees, colder water, and just like sounds that are familiar to us, like all the wildlife, all the birds and stuff, and we just feel we're not quite at home yet, but it's just really nice to be back in a place that we know and love, and also a place that we just have confidence where we know fish are. Like, that was pretty easy. It was about 5:30 by the time, it was about 5:30? About 5 o'clock probably by the time we got the boat on the water and stuffed around. And then we've got a feed and got some fish, let one go. Like, it's pretty cool. So we're very glad to be back. And yeah, we just need to find somewhere to set up our swag and make some dinner and get into bed and make a tea, because it is freezing.
Hot tea is on the cards.
Yeah, we're back.
This is camp. Doesn't look like much from here. The view's nice.
I think it's just nice that we don't have to worry about crocodiles when we're getting out of the boat.
What a treat.
I could fall in here without a care in the world. You're bloody awesome.
I might be concerned.
We're really overreacting about how cold it is. It's probably like 20 degrees, but anyway.
Here we are. Time to set up.
Yeah, it's alright, I'll get it.
Strong boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's like you've done that before.
It's actually probably the first time I've made it from the boat without dropping it.
Yeah, it's very successful.
Someone was asking us the other day, or someone said that they wanted to know more about this swag. We bought it, and it's a very good swag, but it's so heavy. Like, how heavy do you reckon it is?
Too heavy for me to lift by myself.
I reckon it's got to be close to 30 kilos maybe, with like bedding and stuff in it. So it's like luxury comfort, but it's not great for what we do. I think it'll be a lightweight tent next year, but yeah, we'll enjoy the comfort while we have it, won't we? So yeah, this is the swag. It's all set up. It's a Dachi. Can't remember what the name of it is, but it's pretty luxurious.
Got me standing beside it. It's massive.
I was about to tell you about how well this flathead trick works, but that did not work very well.
Oh damn.
Stand by, I'll try again. So if you haven't seen this, this is like the flathead tails trick. So you get your flathead, you fill it like you normally would. I'll show you how that works in a sec. And then you de-skin maybe like a third of it, and then you get yourself a clean wet rag, and then in one clean pull you pull that off, and what that does is that pulls out like the rib bone there. So that's all done, and then you're left with a perfect flathead tail with one small bone in it. But normally, there you go, you're left with a perfect clean flathead tail. So we'll have 4 of those bad boys for dinner tonight.
I don't know if I just got that on the camera, but a fish just jumped so high out of the water just there.
So this is how I've done this in a terrible order. I should have showed you the filleting then the skinning, but you basically take a fillet off and you just leave a tiny bit attached. So I'll show you the other side. But you get your knife, you run it underneath the fins there like that, right down to the top of the spine, and then you just make sure you follow the spine all the way down. That's the best thing about flathead, is you get so much yield off them. They're just like really loaded for their size. Right to the tail. If you've got a sharp knife, you can just cut that. It's normally easiest if you just get a pair of choppers and chop that through. Get rid of him. And then you just like I was showing you before, get your knife, run along till you're about a third of the way through, get your clean wet rag, and as long as you pull that one that way and this one this way, you're good. And then there's your perfect bone-free fillet. Easy as that.
Beautiful.
We've just got the fish going. Jack's putting a 17.5 different secret herbs and spices on there. Oh no.
It's all gone hard.
It's all gone hard. What do we got?
Flathead. And some oil with some lemon herb. pretty good.
Just super basic. We got so excited. We were in such a rush when we were at the car, and we just threw a few things into the boat. And I don't even know if I closed the door of the car.
James said to me before, "Did you put anything in for brekkie?" I was like, there's some peanut butter.
I was the most excited I've been in a long time, I reckon.
Dinner's ready. Got our fish, got our potatoes. Time to eat.
That'll do us just fine. We'll
Doesn't look great, but it will taste
not with that attitude. I'm very excited.
Oh, it will taste great.
We'll see you in the morning, and I'll tell you about this boat. Good morning. So probably most people have clicked on this video because they want to see what's happened to our boat. It's all fixed now, thank God. But it's been a massive learning experience, and we learnt from the manufacturers of the boat and the manufacturers of our mangrove jack trailer that we were certainly not using them correctly. Hopefully I can share our experience a little bit and kind of like prevent people from making the same mistakes that I made, because I just had in my brain that, you know, it's a tinny, it's unbreakable, you can be as rough as you like with it, but they're actually not made that way. And the way that we travel and the way that we transport this boat really affected its structural integrity. And we're really, really lucky that SeaJay are such a great Australian company and chose to look after us. And they didn't have to, and if they didn't, we would be pretty much boatless at the moment. So yeah, I'll tell you the story of how it all happened. So when we got back from Arnhem Land, we noticed that when I was cleaning the boat, I noticed that there were some pretty substantial cracks in the ribs on the sides of the seats going down to the floor of the boat, and I'll put some photos up. And the more I looked, the more cracks I found, and they were really, really quite big. You could probably fit like a 5-cent coin in between the crack and the bottom of the boat floor. And it was pretty concerning to see straight away. So I jumped on the phone, spoke with SeaJay, and they organised for a fabricator in Darwin to fix it for us, and they were going to cover the cost of that, which was amazing considering they don't even know who the fabricator is, and they could only see the damage from photos that I'd sent them. So that was the first little part of the saga. So that fabricator fixed it all up for us, and we then did another little local trip out to just one of the harbours in Darwin. And straight away, all the cracks that this fabricator in Darwin had repaired, they all cracked again. And literally, like, without much use, they all just sort of, you could see where the welding joint was, it was cracking either side of that. So it got to the point where when it got really rough, the boat was like, I could feel the seats moving, and the boat was like warping and swaying a little bit. And it was just a matter of time before it was like totally unseaworthy, and water would start coming in from where these cracks were pulling the welds off the side of the boat. So this happened, and we've got all these plans in place that are like, that's why we're rushing back to Victoria, because we've got some new exciting things happening. And the fact that this boat was now, I'll give the secret away, this boat was unsellable. I couldn't morally sell this boat knowing the damage that it had. So I was really, really stressed. Like, this boat's worth thousands of dollars to us. So we pretty much left Darwin, or not pretty much, we did leave Darwin on a Friday night, and we showed up at SeaJay's factory on Monday morning in Bundaberg with no notice, because they're not open on weekends. And I just went, right, we need to get this sorted. So just showed up there and said, hey guys, this is what's happened. What can you do for us? One of their managers came down and said, how much time do you have? I said, well, what do you need? And he said, give me 6 hours and I'll fix it. So we left the boat there, and end of the day we came back, and what they'd done, and you can see now, if you've watched this video from the start, you'll know that the boat looks very different. We've got 2 brand new seats in here, and they basically rebuilt the whole internal structure of the boat. So they've put in 8 new ribs and fully cleaned up the inside of the boat, stripped back all the old welds, and put in 2 brand new seats. And the quality of work, I don't know much about welding, you know, I don't have a trade or anything like that, but the quality of welding, like, I can see, is just amazing. So someone's put a lot of time and effort in the SeaJay factory to get this fixed for us, and they don't know who we are, they don't really know what we do. So I would like to think that they would do that for anyone, and that's just like an example of a great Australian company. So the fact that SeaJay were happy to help us so quickly and so easily, not once but twice, with the initial repairs and then the rebuild from them, just makes me so grateful that we chose the SeaJay, and like what a bloody awesome boat it's been. So the boat's all fixed, which is awesome, but I learned a lot in terms of like if we were going to keep this boat, I would do a lot of things differently, because we learned that the top of our camper trailer isn't like a solid platform. Like there's a lot of movement, even though it's square, it kind of like sways, so that would have contributed to the cracking on really, really rough roads. We had our mangrove jack trailer actually set up incorrectly. There was too much weight on the back part of the trailer, and there was a lot of adjustments that I needed to make the weight a bit more evenly spread out. And it's certainly no secret, but we took that mangrove jack trailer places where you really shouldn't. Those trailers, they're fantastic. They take you from place to place, but by no means should they go off-road, I reckon. And certainly not on corrugations like we were taking ours. So that's a massive factor that we didn't really consider before we left to start traveling. So if we were to use one of those trailers again, only on sealed roads. And I also have learnt, and this was from mangrove jack and from SeaJay, you shouldn't strap your boat down. So when we were going somewhere, I'd crank the boat down, ratchet straps on the back as well as a strap over the top. That's putting lots of pressure in places that should not have pressure on them on the trailer. So that's another really important thing to consider for sure. It's a little bit sad because like I'll show you these welds. Like this is going to be one of the strongest SeaJay Nomads you've ever seen. Like normally the welds are like short welds, they only go for a couple of inches, but the guys have like welded a whole strip on all brace points of the seats. So now it's unbreakable. It's going to be sad for us to sell this boat, but it's going to be exciting to see what we've got coming. So a couple more videos, maybe one more video, I'd say. We'll go to one of our favourite places in Victoria to sort of farewell this boat and say goodbye to it. But yeah, that's our story. That's how we've ended up here. We're back out this morning just for an early session, and we've come to this bank, and it is like so shallow. I don't know if you can see, but that's approximately 15-20 centimeters deep, and there are flathead everywhere. No real big ones yet. We're just trying to get to the top of the bank to start our drift. We've seen lots of smaller ones. Jackie, you reckon you saw a big one, didn't you?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so.
It's so hard. They camouflage so well.
Amazing predator. Amazing predator.
We overestimated the depth of this water slightly.
Shows you how shallow the flathead are though. Like, we only ended up in here because we saw some on the drone and we were chasing them. The water's very cold.
No 34-degree here.
Far out. Alright, I'm going to rocket us off.
Alright.
God. Hey, caramba.
Hi caramba. Hi caramba.
On I'm going to say a baby flathead here. We just had a little change of tact. Went to some plastics and some deeper water.
Oh, it's not that baby. It's a bit skinny though, hey?
Skinny, yeah, we'll let him go. Yeah, so just like went to some deeper style plastics.
I like that plastic.
I've got like a natural coloured one on that's just been munched by this flathead. Jack's got a bright green one on.
Not for long because it's currently stuck. Oopsies.
He's legal, but let him leave it. So this spot in here where we're fishing now, Jack and I came in here on a trip maybe 5 years ago, Jack? 2019, yeah, 5 years ago. And we had one of the craziest afternoons of fishing ever, I reckon. We just had a week of fishing all these estuaries up this way on the east coast, and like I caught kingfish in the Bermagui River. We caught massive flathead, like flathead up to 75 centimeters. And this was one of those spots where we didn't catch kingfish here, but we just caught flathead after flathead. And now this morning, we've caught one little one. So it's so strange how over time some spots are really, really good and others aren't as good. And then you go to new spots, and I guess that's the fun of fishing. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good.
Sometimes maybe good.
So we're all packed up, got the swag in, got Jacqueline in. It's gotten very, very shallow. I've kind of misjudged the tides a bit, so hopefully we can sneak out of here. There's a bit of weight in the boat with the swag and everything, so hopefully we can get out and not hit the bottom too many times. And if we don't achieve anything interesting on the way back, which is highly likely, we will see you at my favourite fishing destination in Victoria, I reckon. That's a big call. Jack's looking at me with a weird face. I'll stick with it. My favourite fishing destination in Victoria. We'll see you there next week. And yeah, it's about a 4-hour drive for us today. So tune in next week to see us catch some big flathead with a bit of luck. And I hope that boat info is useful for someone. I wish someone could have told me those things before we set off for our travels with a brand new boat and a brand new tinny. We may not have been as lucky if circumstances were different. So if you have questions, please let me know. Send us a message on Instagram. Always keen to help people out and make sure no one makes the same mistakes that I did, because I made a lot of mistakes with this boat trailer setup, and it was all my fault. So I'm glad to admit that. But thanks for watching another one, and we'll see you when we see you.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
I've found the best hose in Australia. Look at this thing. Nearly ripped my arm off.